48 comments, 2,219 cents. Bitcoin territory, May 6th. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah. So Siggy, it sounds like one of Siggy's friends is sick, but on the bright side, it brought together him and two of his buddies to visit his sick friend and say their goodbyes. Um, and so I guess he got to talking about with one of his friends. Got to talking to them about Bitcoin. They and Siggy didn't bring it up, because it's not really the time or place. But he was just having sort of small talk with his friend, and they were talking about politics and RFK Jr. and stuff. And then his buddy broke up, or his buddy, I'm messing up all my words. His buddy brought up that he owns Bitcoin and that he wouldn't sell it. He would sell everything in his portfolio except Bitcoin. And Siggy was, interested. And he asked his friend what price he bought Bitcoin at, and he said $78. And Siggy is aghast. Well, $78. That's a very low Bitcoin price. He must be an OG. My friend's been an OG all this time, and I didn't know it. And then his friend said he bought it 6 months ago. So it turns out his friend actually bought the ETF. He didn't buy real Bitcoin. But still, Bitcoin popped up in Siggy's life, outside of the Bitcoin community, and that's what he wrote about here.
Yeah. What did you think about this post, Keyan?
I suspect this. I suspect 90% of people who have exposure to Bitcoin, maybe more than 90%, will probably have exposure through ETFs or other financial, master strategy. What are there, like five Bitcoin holding companies now? I think there was another one announced yesterday from David Bailey, runs Bitcoin Magazine. He started one too. And then I think there was a day before that, there was a merger of some company, and like I think Strive asked. I don't even know anymore. It's hard to keep track of them, but yeah. Anyway, I think there'll be tons of paper Bitcoin. I don't think the real asset is going to see much light of day, except among people who really get it. And maybe to the positive side, maybe this is what brings people to real Bitcoin stuff, is having the price exposure and then they begin wondering about the actual asset. And unlike gold, which most people hold in paper, even people who are huge gold bulls, Bitcoin is relatively easy to secure and self custody. So maybe this actually leads to people having, like, really owning Bitcoin.
Yeah. And when I read this, I was yeah, I was really intrigued by the beginning part. I was like, oh wow, this is like, it sounds like a really deep, like Siggy story. It was short and quick, but it was like a really deep conversation. And then the way it ended was just like, gosh, really hit me in the heart. Um, and I mean, obviously, Siggy's not going to say anything right then and there. I mean, you kind of have to read the room. And there was one comment where somebody said like, um, "Why didn't you say something?" Um, uh, I forget what it was. Like, so somebody said something like, "Why didn't you say something?" And the guy was like, "We were all literally standing around, in the like on his deathbed." So hopefully Siggy will, catch up with that guy later, for lunch or something, and then, in a roundabout way, like kind of like have that conversation with them. But it's just, yeah, it's a tough one, man. Have you ever been in a situation like that where maybe not with Bitcoin, but like where you're having a conversation with somebody and then they say something and you're like, oh crap, they don't know, and then like, what do you do? Have you ever been in that situation before?
Probably. I can't recall any in particular, but I would guess that depending on the context, you either tell them what's going on or not. I'm usually the guy to tell someone that their fly is down or something like that. So I don't. So maybe I would say something regardless. But in this, the problem with pitching like Bitcoin self custody is that you're basically if you pitch someone Bitcoin self custody, you're obligating yourself to be like their tech support for who knows how long.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so that's tricky. So he would be obligated to give him a whole spiel that is totally inappropriate versus something like telling someone their fly is down. It it's relatively easy and quick,
Yeah.
painless.
Yeah, that's true. Um, yeah. Yeah, it was a good quick top story. Yeah, I just think it's just yeah, this whole kind of like paper Bitcoin thing has just gotten out of hand, man. I mean, the stackers know how I feel about it, but it's just yeah, it's just you're just seeing the real sharks in Bitcoin um really come out now. I think Strike is now doing like loans now. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, the
That's that's
rehypothecation stuff.
that's
Yeah,
pretty disgusting. Um, yeah, it's pretty bad now, man. It's pretty bad.
I just can't believe they're rehypothecating. I thought that was something we all knew was bad. Okay, you're doing a lot of paper magic stuff, cool, but we know that like this fractional debt reserve stuff is like with Bitcoin doesn't work out in the long
Well,
run.
I don't know. Like, I don't have a Strike account. I never did, but like, I don't know if I would be comfortable having a Strike account now. Like, imagine if you have a Strike account and then like you see all these loan stuff. Like, dude, I would be like exiting stage left, bro. I would not be comfortable trusting my exchange doing that. I mean, I don't know. That's just me, but it's wild to think all the people that were like the outstanding Bitcoiners just go make a hard right. It's weird, dude. It's the weirdest thing. And yeah, it's just so strange, man. I feel like we've entered like a twilight zone of yeah, it's like a and it's all because like just and I know and I know like the stage that we're at is like the most important stage right now here in 2025, but it's just so weird, dude. It's so weird. I don't know. I can talk about it for
It is
hours.
it is weird watching people change like that. Uh, like they have principles that they're sort of pretending to have. That's weird to notice because it just makes you suspicious of anyone who claims to have a principle or a value system.
There
But
was
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that there was this there was a story Mandrick told me a long time ago about Roger Ver and about how like one day Roger was friends with him and like because he used to work with them and all the stuff, and then the next day Roger was this completely different person and he had changed completely. And I remember thinking, I was like, how does that happen? Like, how does one day one person become something different and all the stuff? And I remember Mandrick's face was when he was telling us the story. I remember seeing his face, and it was almost like a sort of sadness he had, like he had lost a friend. And I remember thinking, like at the time, I was like, wow, like that you could tell that really hurt him. And I was a young Bitcoiner then. I had no idea, like like what that guy meant to him, or like what he saw, but you could tell they were friends, and like he had meant something to them at the time. Now I kind of understand like what that actually looks like now I understand what that actually, like how that actually happens in the Bitcoin space. And now seeing it happen, it's just kind of like it's just sad, dude. It's just sad seeing people um change. It's just sad seeing people that really had um, you know, kind of believed that they had the right kind of principles in place. But I guess money really does get the best of people.
Yeah, and I don't think we're necessarily even talking about strikes specifically because I'm actually
Yeah,
not super familiar with their loan product or what they're doing, but
yeah.
I have seen on other X people talking about their terms specifying that they rehypothecate, which strikes me as odd. So I haven't verified this. It strikes me as odd though because they have you over collateralized like most Bitcoin loans, where you have to put, if you want to say take out a Bitcoin in fiat, you have to give them 2 Bitcoin. I think is, I don't know what the LTV is. It's something like that. It's something like you give them 2 Bitcoin, they give you a Bitcoin worth of fiat, $100,000 or whatever the price is now. And that, so why hypothecate? Why do anything else with that? What else is there to do with the Bitcoin other than let it sit there and get, like, where are you going to make more money? Are you going to go trade treasuries, or what is there to do with
We're
that?
pushing
What
it
is going to
all into
perform?
Tether. We're pushing it all into Tether.
Yeah, where does it go? I don't
Dude,
know.
we know exactly where it's going, man. Come on. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you've already shown one side of you and then you've shown another side and now you're doing this. It's like, I mean, I don't even have to listen to you anymore. I'm just watching what you're doing now. It like Bitcoiners are like not are the smartest people in the world, and so yeah, it sucks because they're gonna get all the people that are like new to the space. So, anyways,
Well, maybe it'll work. Maybe this will be the one time it works. So, there's always that odd chance that rehypothecation won't blow up. And
maybe
yeah,
I
yeah.
just